Coffee matters most when cared for from plant to cup.
We're committed to roasting and delivering a coffee drinking experience to be remembered.
This podcast is brought to you by Cielo Coffee.
Just allow a little bit of that buzz just to see if that comes in.
Talking like we are doing MasterChef.
Oh.
Oh, we've got another bus.
Oh, that's good news.
It's like that saying.
Which one?
You wait all day for a bus. And then two come along at once.
Oh, that one, of course.
What isn't that engine?
It's just testing out a mic.
That's
I asked
crazy.
it to pass at this time.
Is that actually the bus?
I think maybe a helicopter came down as well. I just asked them to pass at this time just while we were testing the mics out for the podcast.
Good. For the what sort? We're doing a podcast?
Yeah.
When's that?
I think we're in it.
Oh, we know.
It's meant to be a tester, but...
Oh, look, a bus!
Another bus.
I mean, if this was visual, this would be a treat.
What a shame,
But
mate.
you're just going to have to believe us.
Oh, another... No, it's not really.
No, it's not too far then.
Okay.
Coffee. This is all about coffee. Coffee.
So let's chat a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing. Where did it all start for us? Way back, kind of probably 12 or 13 years ago, when you were in a band and I was a youth worker. What was it that stopped us and made us think again and have a look at what we were going to do?
Yeah, I think it came about, wouldn't it, when we were both thinking, what else should we do? What should we do next, really?
Yeah.
I think the band had come to a natural kind of pause and, you know, we hadn't become U2 yet or Coldplay and...
You tried very hard.
And you were also thinking about, you know, how did you want to use your youth work differently and creatively? And I think we both asked this question, didn't we? Someone, I don't even remember quite who, but we came across this question for life.
Yep.
You know, going...
When we go back to... which really helped us. You know, if money were no object, and if you were completely fearless, what would you want to do with your time? Yeah, it's amazing.
And I remember us asking that late, and I remember thinking I can only dare to think about that late at night because it's a lot easier late at night
Yeah.
than first thing in the morning. Never ask that question first thing in the morning. It's too scary. But and we just dreamt of it, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, and the problem is money is a thing, so it's a barrier immediately to a lot of people's dreams and hopes, and you very quickly get practical in your thinking, don't you? And fear is part of that as well, of like, what if? What's the worst that could happen? And that was a good part of the question, really. Like, if everything went really wrong, what's the worst that could happen? And that just gets rid of some of the fear around it as well.
I definitely started going, well, in 5 years' time, go and get a proper job.
Yeah, we're still saying that.
and then after 5 years, well, 5 more years, get a proper job. And then I'm in the third 5 years at the moment. Yeah.
So what was when you asked those questions of ourselves late at night, what were the things that came to mind for you that you fancied doing? I
was really interested in making a difference in business, I guess. I think for me it was I was excited about the idea of setting something up, something new, but I didn't want to just make money. I wasn't really driven by just making money. I really wanted to do something with business that could just have a positive impact, and in some ways just do our little bit for helping be positive. So it would like to make money, but that would make a positive change rather than just be about take.
Yeah, it was good.
But we didn't really know what. And I think I tried to think of a few ideas, come up with a few ideas around random things. Like we nearly set up a training centre at one point.
Yeah, like creative office training stuff. All I remember is like marker pens and smelly putty and random stuff around the house.
But, and probably quite importantly, I did look at that and go, well, look, if this was really successful in 3 years, would I be really excited by this? And I think that was the question that made me go, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. I wouldn't be, even if it was really a success, I think I'd be a bit bored.
That's it. A lot of good ideas are good because they're like quick inspiration, but you have to, when you're thinking about what you want to do a bit longer term, you want to still enjoy it.
So I remember really clearly thinking, I need to talk to my wife.
There's an idea.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And actually...
But I was doing youth work, wasn't I? And I was doing some training of youth workers on a course and stuff. So I was a little bit more settled in the day job thing. So you were doing a bit of this process for yourself. But yeah, it was good to...
It was, but it definitely... What is crucial, actually, that kind of talking to you about it. And you know, that's where we talked about your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think my course that I did was youth and community work. And I'd done a lot of youth work. I'd done youth work with the council and with charity and things. And I really love young people and teenagers, but I was fascinated by the whole of community and young people kind of integrated into that. And how does the whole of community look in a kind of geographical sense, really? So for me, Garforth was the initial thing, and I'd done my dissertation on Garforth and what were its needs and stuff. So, and I'd also always fancied doing an ice cream shop or a milkshake bar, which is a bit left field, but that's where we began to think, really, wasn't it? Around what if it was a community cafe?
Yeah.
And what does that look like normally, and what would we like it to look like? So
it was just fascinating because I think when you talked about ice cream bar and milkshake bar, and it kind of, you start to visualize that, don't you, and get excited and start to think, okay, what does this look like? What does this look like today? What is, you know, what are people after? Yeah. And I think that's when we kind of came up with a little bit more of a cafe.
Yeah, coffee
style,
was appearing. Yeah,
because coffee was becoming a bit more of a go out to place, you know, and there wasn't anything being done where we lived, was there? No. So we thought, you know, it's a great opportunity to bring it there and try and do it really well.
Yeah, I think that's what's interesting about thinking about your own journey and having space and time to think about what would I like to do. I think that's important for everybody because you get to the end result, which might look like other people's end result, but the way you get there is quite important. So a lot of places probably look more tidy in terms of coffee than we do, because I think some places start, you know, rightfully so for them, with we love good coffee, we love speciality coffee, we like the different ways of brewing it, we like extraction ratios, and we set up, our starting point is there, and we step onto good baristas and we step onto good environment, and they go that way around. Oh yeah. And we've kind of come at it the opposite direction from, we like community centre, we don't want really rubbish cups, we want slightly better cakes, we want really good coffee, and we've built it the other way around, which I think does give a different environment, but it's right for us. And I think
definitely
it's got to suit who you are and who your personalities are, because you get the longevity then.
I remember because whenever we tried to describe it, we called it a community cafe, but I couldn't bring myself to say community cafe because you just think of those church cups that are like
of green
50p cups of terrible instant, you know, just. And so I remember I just would never tell anyone it was a community cafe, although, you know, our heart was like, actually, this is a community cafe. Yeah, that's right. What it's about. But that really was a crucial part of our journey as well, of going, actually, quality is really important, and doing things really well is a crucial part of honouring people and creating community, creating space for people to want to hang out. Yeah. So, you know, it aligned very much with then wanting to be the best, and then you end up wanting to do the best coffee and the best extraction and the best baristas and all of that, but it's only out of that heart to that's good, connect.
And that is why we are doing what we're doing.
And then we woke up in the morning
and thought no. Hell no. No, in truth, we remortgaged and we did it. So here we still are.
Here we are. So when we set up our first cafe, we decided to go down social enterprise route, didn't we? So,
yeah,
you know, what reasons for you did you think, you know, why did we choose a social enterprise cafe?
I think because we were crazy. No, I think we wanted to be genuine. And I think if you're trying to do something for the community, the last thing I wanted it to be was like, you know, looking like we were making loads of money personally as a family out of a pretense of we're here for you guys. And I think social enterprise for me in its simplest form meant that we set our wage at something that was, you know, reasonable, just and not overboard at all, and on par with others who were working. And then we set the profit to be, if there was any profit made in the cafe, that would get given to the local community and sewn back in. And I think we both said really what we wanted was to both have an income, and that was the ideal. And we didn't want, you know, multi-million from it, and there was no guarantee it was going to do that anyway. So if we were paid and if it worked and the community benefited, I think it just suited what we were looking for.
Yeah. I really loved the, when we looked into, because we'd never set up a business before as well, had we? And I think when we looked at all the different, you could be this, you could do this, I remember us being really keen to get more people involved and lots of, you know, opportunities for things like volunteer schemes and trying to give, because we're so kind of connected with different groups and the schools and stuff in the area. We didn't want to be limited by just our payroll, I guess. And I think we kind of stumbled across social enterprise by accident, really.
Yeah, it was quite a new thought.
It kind of just seemed to fit, didn't it? The cap seemed to fit. Oh, actually, we could do this and we could do that. And it's funny because, you know, I remember years on, just jumping forward a few years, just a conversation with some commercial guys setting up a commercial cafe. And they were like, you know, we spent a bit of time together sharing how we ran cafes and things. And they, you know, really loved it. And they came to the end and they went, the one bit we really can't work out how to replicate, which we love about what you do, is there's always a buzz from all your team and the volunteers, and it's such an exciting place to be. And you know, when you've got a tight budget where you can only have this many staff,
that's
and
right,
everyone's quite a bit busier, and actually we don't know how to create that. And I think in itself, we didn't realize when we started, but it kind of fed that opportunity to just be genuinely a community enterprise, and
the more chance to chat, because we thought we'd be really quiet at certain times and we'd get a chance to chat with people a bit one-on-one, or you know, join a table not too awkwardly and say hi to people locally. But we were quite busy, and I think having volunteers in and people getting a chance to chat to those guys as well was mutual benefit. Definitely. Really, it connected volunteers in with the community, and customers had people to talk to, and definitely created the buzz.
And we had loads of people at church, didn't we, who were like, oh, we'd love to just come and get involved. We don't want to be, you know, we don't want a job. We just want to get involved. And so I think all of that helped us.
Here's the washing up.
And it and it was weird, really, wasn't it? Because I remember chatting to an accountant who didn't end up being our accountant, but we had a consultation with someone who was like, why are you setting up a social enterprise? Do you understand? Do you understand what you're doing?
I
can't
never
believe
make anything from it.
He's like, don't do this. My counsel to you is, do not do this. Like, why would you do this model? You can never change. And we're like, but this is just what we feel like. We're just trying to do. We're just doing a little cafe in our high street. We just want to do it this way. And so we didn't choose him in the end. But
so we'd love you to subscribe and go with us on our journey. We've got some weeks ahead, and we'd love you to set out with us. We've got some offers we'll be doing, bits of coffee information we'll be giving you, so it'd be great if you could follow us. And we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got website, we've even got the old TikTok starting, which is epic. So find us out there. It's CLO, which is just CLO coffee, and you'll spot us around the place.